So we've counted the runners down. We have them all set up. We're just getting a regular starting location from them. Everything is defaulted.
Yep.
And while we're doing that, we can take a look at the card and comment on some of the earlier goals.
There's a lot of obtained goals, like some people in chat are noting, like Love Key, High Blood Sharp Shadow, Dream Wheeler, Dream Shield, 2 Pale Ore, Mantis Claw, 8 map pins, which is basically Trampass plus Dream Nail, Collector is another copy of Love Key, kind of, Long Nail, Mark of Pride, a lot of stuff.
Yeah. As far as like early goals, I mean, you can get the 3 maps relatively easily. Claw could always be one of the first couple checks of the game.
Yeah, Lore Tablet and Ancient Basin is basically just when you have right side access, you can just immediately go there, basically. So yeah, we're just seeing a bit of King's Pass since they decided to go with default start. We'll see if either of them decides to skip Fury. Wouldn't be surprised if neither of them do, since there aren't too many early goals. Yeah, it looks like they're both going. Apparently, we will not be getting a timer this race since one of the racers does not have one and the other one forgot to start it. So, unfortunate. We started pretty much on time though, so we should be able to know when to stop.
So we see DFT just seconds ahead of Tash.
Oh, and there's that Mantis Claw, so that's a goal for DFT. Thankfully, in a very obvious place, so both of them will end up getting it, and they'll be at parity in movement. I thought I just saw Long Nail there as well, which is also a goal on the board, but I think both of them skipped over it.
I believe you're right. It's Sharp Shadow. That was also is that another goal? Yes, it is.
I believe the 2. So two goals right at Dirtmouth, but neither of them have marked it yet.
Nine grubs for Lumafly Lantern and 12 grubs for a Dream Nail. 5 grubs for a Vengeful Spirit.
And that was 22 grubs for a Fragment, which is not as relevant in Lockout as it is in Blackout True End. Looks like Tash is going straight down to get this map and continue on Crossroads, while DFT is getting this grub, working towards those grub rewards and also the Crossroads Fog Canyon goal. Pretty clean Vengefly Pogo there.
Yeah, I mean, knowing that there's stuff behind grubs, it's always good to get them, but there are definitely some easier grubs to get this early.
Yeah, with so many obtained goals on the board, DFT might be a bit behind on getting there from shop. But if we see the same aptitude at recognizing goals in shops from both runners as recognizing that Long Nail at a Zelda, we might not see any charm goals bought at shops for a bit.
To be fair, there's always one charm that runners seem to be allergic to.
Yeah, Claw was out of Zelda Quack, along with a gold Long Nail that neither of them bought. And DFT got Sharp Shadow at the well, but did not mark it, so... Both runners choosing to check this Goem Mask Shard that's in Logic now with Vertical. Just vanilla.
So usually we don't get a lot of divergence in the beginning of the game, but we're gonna get almost instantaneous divergence, I'd imagine, because Claw gives you different things.
Yep. They could do the cliffs right now. I believe you can theoretically shade skip to right side, though it's pretty hard. They could also, from cliffs, they can go all the way down to the green path and fungal. Oh, Wraiths makes the shade skip a bit easier, but still not trivial.
Personally, I hate having Claw this early. But it's always interesting in a race setting.
Yeah, claw-only movement is actually, I think, kind of interesting because you feel like you should be able to do a lot because claw is such an important item, but actually you're limited in some pretty surprising ways sometimes. Looks like we're already getting some divergence with DFT getting this grub at least and maybe continuing to False Knight instead of Shops. Yep, looks like that's what we're getting. Meanwhile, Tash checks Shop. I think I like the Shops play a bit better here because there's so many obtained goals on the board, but it's like a pretty close call, honestly.
I like the Shops play. I mean, we have... Let's see, what is it? We have Pale Ore, 3 different charm goals, even though we have one of them available. And I mean, it's here to say that you like that now, and then we'll see DFT fighting False Knight, and if there's anything there, it's going to pay off for him.
So that's 1 Pale Ore. That's 660, I believe, at Salubra. Gerberfly is not on the board. Not much. Yeah, Lord Pyro brings up a good point. If they're not going to buy the random goals in Shops, why go to Shops at all? At least they both saw and bought the Claw. They at least got that. Was that Resting Ground Stag at Sly? I didn't quite catch that. King's Station. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's a pretty easy base and lore tablet. Yeah, not much else they could get right now since there's a lot of random goals. That's the second white fragment we've seen from DFT, I believe. Or am I misremembering? No, that's the first. Oh, and Love Key at King Station Stag. That's a random goal for Tash.
Yep.
Though, will he mark it? Or is the bingo board just like a bit behind? Oh yeah, Pale Ore was apparently at 22, or Void Heart was apparently at 22 grubs. We see Dreamnail and Trampass found at almost exactly the same moment from either runner. If you put those together, you can go get all 8 map pins with some Geo. Meanwhile, DFT heading over to Stagdust to view a very worth deal of 85 Geo for 300. No, Aryash, the board is updating properly, I believe. Tash just hasn't marked the goal for whatever reason. Maybe he doesn't realize it was a goal, but it's actually pretty weird to buy that Love Key and without realizing it's a goal because it doesn't give anything immediately. Maybe he sees Collector and like doesn't realize that Love Key is also Tash is still connected to the bingo board, so it's just Tash just hasn't marked it. No.
Please don't die. No.
Tash, yeah, that pogo is pretty hard without any without dash or C dash.
Yeah.
It's in fact not in easy logic, so that is out of logic. Yeah, we're probably going to see Shops here from DFT plus this Grub working towards those Grub goals.
If Tash doesn't mark off that Love Key, it possibly could get sniped by DFT after he
yeah.
that's a Shop check.
And then DFT will be really wondering where Tash went because, like, really you go False Night Shops or Cliffs. DFT's already been to Cliffs, and False Night, and Shops. DFT will suspect that Tash hasn't been to, since that leads to Love Key, and Tash hasn't marked that. So it'll be a mystery, but in reality, Tash just forgot. Tash rewarded with a pretty early Dream Gate. Not on the board, but helps a bit with getting around.
Dream Gate is definitely nice to have in early game. When you haven't, like, established your benches yet.
Yep. Tash not checking the fountain, going straight for this basin goal. DFT buying that Pale Ore, so he might actually still not get the Love Key goal if Tash realizes in time, because he no longer has enough money, I believe, unless Sly had Geo.
Oh, 1, not 9, come on. There we go.
Yeah, so DFT will be able to afford the Stag at least, but cannot afford the Love Key. Meanwhile, Tash working on that 3 maps goal. I'm surprised we haven't seen that yet. They have access to a lot of areas. Looks like Tash will be going over to Cliffs to get that 3rd map. Meanwhile, DFT getting the last rub in Crossroads, it looks like.
Yep. DFT is going
to answer the question. Yeah. To answer the question in chat, you're even allowed to hold goals if you want to, like, because you can, like, deny your opponent that information. But if your opponent marks that goal while you're holding it, it's your fault. You should have marked it earlier. Some dude, Mantis Claw, was at a Zelda. I believe in Blackout, we generally say that you do have to mark goals when you get them, just because, like, otherwise you could just hold all your goals and then mark them at the end.
I mean, you're allowed to hold your goals so you're not giving things away.
Yeah, but in Blackout specifically.
Oh, in Blackout, yeah.
If you allow people to hold their goals, then it would be optimal to just hold everything until you have everything, because you have no chance of getting locked out. But in Lockout, it's a bit more interesting since you could, like, use holding goals to withhold information.
Tash going to be able to activate the Grim.
Chooses not
to.
Yeah, it makes a bit of sense. It's a pretty long check, and with Claw, it's pretty unlikely that that's the one check that they need for progression.
Yeah.
Could come back to bite him, but unlikely. Yeah, I think right now each of the runners has one unmarked goal. DFT in Sharp Shadow and Tash with Love Key. Long Nail, both of them could get, but neither of them has bought it yet. It was at the Zelda. They probably just missed it. It would be pretty amusing to see them trade those goals of, like, DFT getting the Love Key at King Station eventually before Tash marks it, and Tash getting the Sharp Shadow and Well before DFT marks it.
So, DFT, if he continues onward, is going to find the stuff that Tash just found. So he's just following behind him right now.
Yeah, never a place you want to be in Lockout. Tash might be going for, or both of them might be going for Pilgrim's Way lore tablets. It's really long because you have to do the loop all the way from cliffs through Green Path into Fungal. But it is a goal, and it has a lot of checks along the way. But they could also have chosen to do a skip with that wraiths they found from Crossroads into Fungal, which would be shorter, but looks like neither of them are choosing to do that. Another goal they could be going for that they have access to right now is Crystal Guardian 1, because Lantern, I believe, was at 9-ish scrubs.
Yep, that's what I believe.
So they could get into peaks with that and go up to CG.
Cash remembers that he has the love key.
Nice.
Wonder if we'll see something similar from DFT with Sharp Shadow.
Honestly, I think if I were Tash, I would be considering heading to Deep Nest right now. There's really 3 goals there that you can get. With the Lantern at low grubs, you could check free all grubs in Deep Nest without too much difficulty, and you can also kill Galleon with your Dream Nail and also get the Perry Revik goal. So that seems pretty strong, but it looks like he's just doing some checks right now. I bet DFT will be very confused if he eventually gets to King Station and sees the love key, because really Tash should have marked that before getting the lore tablet in Ancient Basin, because that was how he got to Ancient Basin. But with how late he marked that, maybe he just didn't have the money or something. But in reality, he just...
With having Claw, Tash does have access to get enough essence to get into Revik.
Yep. I think not in Logic, because I think on Easy you need Dash in order to do Dream Bosses. I'm not completely sure. I know you need like a non-dive spell, which they have, but I don't know about Dash.
Yep. Especially with doing like Gorb and Zero, though. You have Wraiths. Those bosses are a lot easier with Wraiths than they are with just a nail.
Yeah, Tash doesn't quite have as easy resting grounds access as DFT does. Like, he can go up from King Station, but that's a bit longer than going with Tram Pass. But it's still not too bad. Neither of them are really rushing goals, it seems. They're just doing Green Path checks.
Tash choosing not to go past Massive Moss Charger?
Yep, looks like he's just going towards Fungal. This could just be the Pilgrim's Way lore tablet goal that they're both working towards. The long way. Yeah, it looks like they're both going that way, not bothering with Massive Moss Charger.
Whoa.
Annoyed by... a bit annoyed by how long the Durandal is taking. But yeah, this is pretty unfortunate for DFT. He's basically completely following Tash, doing all the same checks, just a bit behind. And so anything that that DFT would find, Tash will find first.
It's always fun when you find Geo and you have to look at it and go, wait, okay, that's worth it, or that's not worth it.
Yeah, we saw one good deal and one bad deal in this race so far.
So I think Tash is absolutely committing to that lore tablet goal because he has access to other things that he's just skipping.
Yeah, this isn't the play I would make, but it's not too bad because you do get a lot of checks on the way, and like these are pretty check dense areas. You get leg eater without having to do the wraiths skip, which is kind of annoying. I would still make the deep nest play here though, and make Homothety proud.
Would you get the Cubs first, or would you go straight for it?
With just Claw, probably I want Lantern. I'm not that comfortable with Dark Deep. Hi there, Homothety. Nice Dream Gate from Tash. Looks like he's really rushing that lore tablet goal, not even going to the leg eater bench, using Dream Gate to make the backtracking less annoying.
To be fair, that is a... I don't want to say it's a hard bench to get, because it's definitely not, but it takes a little bit of precision jumping to get there.
Oh yeah, with just Claw, it's a bit yeah, it's a pretty precise jump. But with Wraiths, actually, the air stall makes it relatively free. You just jump as late as you can and like use one Wraith, and it's almost impossible for you to miss. Meanwhile, DFT might be going to Deep Nest here, so might be hearing what I'm saying. Unfortunately, Deep Nest not quite as strong for DFT. He doesn't have Dream Nail, so can't do Galleon. But yeah, I think those were above King's Station and at the entrance relic to Basin, if I'm not wrong.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree, Mofty. Late Deep Nest, like exactly like Jamie said, late Deep Nest is easier but sparser, while Dark Deep Nest is harder but has things in very tight area. Huh, DFT warping out after getting the grub. Interesting. Not sure exactly what did that.
DFT... That is
Maybe
not the Fog Canyon grub.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to unmark that.
Do you have... I am a spectator. Yep, okay. Okay. Jason has informed him of the error of his ways. And that was Monarch Wings that just popped up on Tash's screen.
Yep. He must have... DFT must have... Huh. Did he mistake Fog Canyon for Fungal, maybe?
I believe so.
Yeah, the Fog Canyon grub is the one that,
You need C-Dash for it.
yeah, you need C-Dash for it, and you also need a way to get into Fog Canyon. So, like, you can Acid Skip or have Ismas or have Shade Cloak. It's right next to Archive. I'm pretty surprised to see Tash put the Dream Gate down as if rushing the Pilgrim's Way lore tablets and then not actually rush the Pilgrim's Way lore tablets. It looks like he's doing Mantis Lords? Interesting play.
He also has access to the Fungal Core with the wings and the claw now.
Some dude, DFT got the Fungal Grub next to Spore Shroom. DFT showing off this tight jump, not making it quite, and now at 1 HP, pretty scary. Probably gonna go to farm some soul. Meanwhile, Tash is heading down to Brother Bench. I hope he rushes Pilgrim's Way lore tablets after this, otherwise he'll get locked out by DFT probably. Yeah, this jump, you need to jump right at the edge and cling onto the wall at the end, just like that.
Simple key.
Yep. Looks like he's...
Well, check.
Maybe. Also probably reading the other lore tablet. I don't think he ever read the one by Grubbs. Resting Ground Stag for DFT. That's pretty nice. Lets you skip the Dream Nail cutscene. I forget. Did Tash read the other lore tablet?
Yes. I believe so.
Okay.
He went down there.
Yeah, I know he went down there. I was looking at DFT's screen at the time. Looks like Tash is going to make some progress on Crossroads Grubs now. Interesting to see where they go here from here. The obvious easy goal has now been taken. So with wings, Tash could go all the way to do Broken Vessel. I don't remember if he got the toll bench. I know he skipped past it at first, but I don't know if he went back. Deep Nest Grubs is even easier now that you have wings to get to Nest Grub easier. This might be what Tash is doing, getting some grubs first to set up for getting Lantern.
Where was the tram pass again?
Tram pass was False Night, I think. Maybe the chest. I'm not exactly sure which check, but it was definitely behind False Night. DFT getting this grub. Hopefully he doesn't think this is the Fog Canyon grub.
He does.
Really unfortunate for DFT, not informed.
So we have Tash at 7 grubs? Is that?
Yep, and DFT at 8. Well, DFT will pick up wings here, which is pretty good for him. He'll be caught up in movement, but down on... I wonder if DFT heads to actually do Mantis Lords here. I know Tash opened the way to Mantis Lords, but didn't actually do it. I imagine Tash is just getting Lantern here, possibly rushing CG1, or possibly going to Deep Nest, I would imagine. There's not much other reason to get that Lantern.
Fog Canyon is the one in Teacher's Archives. Like you need the C-dash from the top of that room.
Yeah, chat is very amusingly pointing out every single time Tash goes by the well that there could be a snipe. Let's be honest here. This whole that Sharp Shadow is Tash's goal at this point. DFT is never going to remember that. Though I guess DFT could find Hive Blood. Oh, Tash Dreamgating back to that Dreamgate he placed a long time ago to get Leg Eater. Looks like he got some Dreamgate glitch and we'll have to save quit out. I believe that's how you
Yep.
Oh, he's saying his game crashed. Is this too far in to have a pause? I don't remember what we're supposed to do.
He's loading back in. It looks like he. Let's see.
No, Gresloth, he said in Discord that his game in fact crashed. That was just the last thing we saw before it crashed.
Okay, you're responding to that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think. I think this is a bit too short of a mishap to pause. Huh. Looks like Tash is still having trouble. We might actually need to pause or do something about this.
Well, we're getting stream delay, so we don't. I think that might have been when he paused to ask the question.
Okay. Okay. It looks like we're good. Hopefully this stream gate succeeds. Oh, he did get a random message drop. That's right. Yeah, you see that essence ticking down to 0. Quite clutch there.
Is Galleon? I think Galleon is 200 essence.
Yep. So that would be a pretty good play in my opinion. Allows you to go check Perry Revic really quick. Especially with this resting ground stag, makes it much faster.
And the DFT finishing Mantis Lords. Unfortunately, not a goal on the board, but 3 checks in here, and then Super Secret Seal.
Yep. I wouldn't be surprised to see DFT go into Deep Nest from this entrance. It has 2 goals in it, 3 if you count the fact that you're getting Perry Revic.
I'd like to see DFT go through core if he's going to go into Deep Nest at all.
Yeah.
2 goals. Or 2, not 2 goals, 2 checks.
Yeah, 2 checks. Imagine, well, it could be 2 goals with all the random goals on the board. But looks like Tash is going to Peaks, heading for that CG1 goal. Peaks is a pretty check dense area as well, but actually without any sort of horizontal,
Queen's Garden, that is a goal.
Yeah, that's pretty big. It's a goal and quite nice access to QG. You don't have to do the long way around.
Nice setup for trade a Lord later into White Lady.
Yep. Of course, they'll have to find 2 dashes before then. Yeah, and DFT doesn't even have Dream now at all. I forgot about that. Yeah. So yeah, Peaks. Pretty dense area, but as I was saying, you can't actually get too many of the checks without horizontal, because like the crushers are annoying, and I don't think you can get deep focus, but I might be wrong. And C dash is also pretty annoying to check. Looks like DFT is pausing, perhaps thinking about his options. Can't tell whether he's just paused or whether his stream is having some sort of problem. Now they're both paused?
I don't see any chat going on, so...
Yeah, hopefully everything is fine.
Oh. That might be what he's doing, Googling the Fog Canyon Grub. Since we've taken away from him twice.
Yeah, that's quite a possibility as well.
Tash exhibiting one of the cheese strategies with Crystal Guardian. You can get your essence by dream nailing him, and you don't actually need to wake him up if you just use spells on him.
Oh, we see. The cursor appeared. So okay, it looks like DFT is fine. It's probably it probably was just a Google. Looks pretty frustrated right now.
Just hopping around in frustration.
Looks like he's going over to Grubs now. I think Lantern was at
9.
9. I know there was something else at Grubs. Alright, Dream Nail at 13. Oh, I just realized that's 3 Dream Nails we have access to, so could have some White Palace content. Oh, right, VS, that's pretty good.
Meanwhile, it looks like this is probably resting ground tag from DFT, while Tash continues to check P. No, King Station. Oh, he never checked this. He doesn't know about Love Key until now. Unfortunate. He'll at least get Dream Nail, and probably will go South of Lem for those map pins, I would bet. Meanwhile, Tash is probably heading over to resting grounds through this dark room. I guess I think with wings you can get to the other side with air stalls, but he doesn't have enough souls. So. DFT looks like he's making taking a different route to resting grounds instead going from King Station.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Tash is collecting the first 100 essence that he'll need for that Perry Revic goal. Zero, not too hard of a fight with both Wraiths and VS. No, Tash barely making it through.
So that's 100 essence cash. Did DFT do the Dream Nail sequence when he came over here? Did he actually go to resting grounds?
I don't think DFT ever went to resting grounds, actually. I think this is the first we've seen of resting grounds. DFT having a bit of trouble with one of the worst arenas in the game. And takes an unfortunate death. RIP. Yeah, that arena is one of the worst arenas in the game, tied with, or not tied with, but a bit less bad than the QG arena, the bad one, not the Petra one. And the Hornf arena in Waterways is also at times difficult.
This gauntlet is hard in the beginning of the game when you don't have stuff. When you get your upgraded nail or anything.
Yeah.
Or even when you have, like, dive.
Yeah, but I think this gauntlet is one that really punishes you for like trying to go fast. Like if you try to go too fast, you can get sloppy pretty easily and take a bunch of damage in a row.
There was Hive Blood at 600 essence, I believe.
Okay, so I wonder if Tash will go for that, not realizing the Sharp Shadow is in the well. It would be even more amusing if DFT goes for that, not realizing he had Sharp Shadow since the beginning of the game.
Unfortunately, that arena does not pay off for DFT. Looks like he's heading to resting grounds now, unfortunately trailing a bit behind. The Hive Blood might remind him that Hive Blood Sharp Shadow is on the board, and he might claim that.
That is 2 simple keys.
Yep. I don't think there's any simple key goals on this board, but nice to have anyways for checking Pleasure House.
Yep. Presumably the second 100 essence, so Tash will be at 200 essence. And
Yep, we'll see Perry Revik. Almost certainly will be Tash's goal. Pretty hard for him to get sniped here, especially since DFT still, or does DFT have Dream now? I can't quite tell from the tracker.
Yes, I believe you picked it up.
Oh, right, yeah, I even saw a drop, yeah, okay. But unless Tash dies a lot to Revik, he'll almost certainly get this goal. Even after seeing Essence twice, I still didn't quite catch what amount of Essence Distant Village stag was. It looked like a high.
I believe it was a high number. Is that a goal on here?
No, but it does make Deep Nest a bit less annoying to get to. Oh, right. Tash never got Stag Nest Stag, so he's doing the skip to get up here. Meanwhile, DFT will give us our first look at Left Side City.
I don't believe there was anything up here when DFT was up here.
I believe there was a very good deal at Stag Nest Stag that we're about to see.
Very good deal.
So, after Perry Revik is marked, I assume DFT is going to get 8 map pins, since now he has Dream now, and is about to sell the Lem. There's not that much else they can do right now without more movement. They can do Broken Vessel, since Wings lets you get over there. They can do the Deep Nest things of Talk to Midwife, Grubs, and Galleon, which is a pretty nice combination of goals. But like, they could theoretically go do Collector, but that is a very annoying fight, and they'd probably want to get nail upgrades before then. Ah, yes, of course. Maddie Lowe's points out that they could, in fact, do Sharp Shadow, which, like, the goal, not the check. Okay, that's 1 of 3. Let's all count. Rip. And takes a death. Yeah, this goal is one that really I find pairing Revik has a certain rhythm to it. Either you're on the rhythm and like get the parry several times in a row, or you're off the rhythm and get hit several times in a row.
Yep.
We've seen both runners at very low HP recently.
That's one. That's one.
Did that count?
Thought I saw
That
it.
was I think he has to disappear for like longer, so that's 2. Yeah. Tash isn't leaving, so. Yep, and I think that counts. Yeah, so that was 3. You see like the sort of pause on the screen. It means it's a parry. Chat helpfully counting to 8 with us. So that is a 6th goal for Tash, bringing
We'll have
him
to
up
count to 8 later.
6-3.
At some point, we will have to count to 8.
Probably it's about to be 6-4. Oh, and a third simple key. Well, DFT's, or no, that is DFT's third simple key, I believe, because I think he did open waterways. So, Pleasure House is looking pretty good right now. For those who don't know in chat, Pleasure House requires, and also God Tuner, both require you to have 4 simple keys before they're in logic, because that just makes it easier for the logic to work around them, so that you can't like lock yourself out of getting one or the other by using your simple keys in different places.
With the 4th one being the ability to open GG's hut.
Yep. That is a goal, but does not have any checks. It does let you, in Rando, sell your rancid eggs to Steel Soul Jin, who is also there. That I believe they sell for around 450 Geo.
They're all 450 each.
Yep.
Basically, if that's a goal, it becomes a second shop almost, because you have... I mean, there's almost no point to opening it unless you've already checked God Tuner and there wasn't anything there. To use
Yeah,
like,
you have to be really strapped for Geo.
Yeah.
To use that as a geo source. You can't fast sell to GG or to Jin, unlike Lem. And relics tend to give a lot of geo anyways.
I mean, if you have 9 eggs with like 450 each, that's a good amount.
Yeah, that's pretty good. But you don't always have those eggs, and you don't always have the money to... If Rando Man is still in chat, when will we get that Steel Soul Jin fast sell quality of life option? We really need it. It's very necessary.
Pale ore. We love to see it.
Can't quite... Is that 1 pale ore that Tash has? I can't quite tell. It popped up on the Bingo UI tracker, but my stream is kind of blurry.
Bapanada.
And it looks like DFT is going for those map pins. So that's 2. 3.
Oh no, please do not fix it. I thoroughly enjoy having the ability to sell.
I'm amused that DFT is scrolling past Longnail with buying it 8 times.
Oh, and he marks it! He sees the sharp shadow finally.
But does he see the Longnail? Looks like he does not. RIP. So, we might not see that goal marked for a long time. Tash no longer has much of an incentive to go over to a Zelda, so that might not get rechecked for forever.
I have updated it on the tracker. It is just not updating his number properly.
Yeah, there's a bit of delay. Looks like Tash is finally making the deep nest play for those 3 goals. Pretty nice for him. That'll set him up to be at 9 goals, which is pretty good. And most of the rest are just random checks that they need now. Still haven't found any horizontal, which is pretty painful. Makes it pretty.
And we have seen where Crystal Heart is, just behind
Yeah.
a lot of grubs.
Or wasn't
Essence.
Essence? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nail 3 collector isn't bad. I don't know how many pale ore they have. I know they both found one recently at the same place, but I forget how many they had before then, and I still can't read because it's pretty blurry. Oh right, how could I forget? DFT has tram pass. Clearly, he's winning. Looks like DFT, unfortunately, is going to be following Tash here into Deep Nest after picking up that lantern. Pretty unfortunate for him. He'll get locked out of at least 1 goal.
Did Tash get the Mimic Grub, though?
Yes, Tash got the Mimic Grub. Tash at least entered the Mimic room and broke a grub bottle. I'm pretty sure it was the right one. Thankfully, they both have Bingo UI installed, so we'll be able to see how many grubs they've gotten in the area in parentheses. Oh, okay. Tash remembers to go back for the Nos grub.
Yep, okay, there's a 2.
Yep, that says 2.
And now for counting with Ash and Jason. Let me get the 3rd grub here. See if he chains this together with getting Galleon. Just unfortunate that DFT starts working on the goal that Tash is working on, and he's gonna get sniped out of it.
I think recently Deep Nest has become one of my one of the areas I like better after I've learned how to do Dark Deep Nest. It's pretty dense and has a decent number of goals in it usually.
And the fact that other people tend not to like it just makes it all the better for getting goals that I know no one else is getting. Except perhaps Timothy.
Dark Deep Nest isn't... It's... I have a love-hate relationship with it. If I have like a dash and wings and I have like everything, it's a lot easier to do because you just hold the walls and You just pray that you're not going to hit spikes and get set back to your starting position.
Yeah, for Deep Nest, for Dark Deep Nest, I think I'm still not quite confident enough in it to do it without Claw, but with Claw, I'm mostly fine in it. It's not too bad. I guess Dash is pretty nice as well. So hopefully for DFT, he won't go for Galleon as well here because he'll almost certainly get locked out. But it looks like, oh, he's going back for the Nos Grub. I don't think he got that one. Yeah, now DFT will know that Tash is in Deep Nest. I think if you're a DFT here, it might be good for you to just go and immediately rush Midwife. Because Tash doesn't know that you're in Deep Nest and might take some time doing checks. Maddie, DV Stag was at some amount of essence. Lao
High
says
amount
6
of essence.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the only way you're
Tash
getting over
has-
here is by walking.
Yeah. Tash has the lead here going into Dark Deep Nest, but I imagine he'll go and do all the checks. While if DFT goes and rushes towards Midwife and the Grubs, he could lock a Tash out. It'll certainly be pretty close. Okay, yeah, I definitely like this from DFT, not going to Weaver's Den, knowing that Tash is going to be there right now.
Yep.
And now DFT is far ahead of Tash on getting those last 2 Deep Nest goals. This actually turned out to be pretty nice for him.
Tash, I think you need... Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh, wow, I didn't know you could make that with just wings and not dash.
I thought you needed dash for that.
Pretty sure you can't do the last check without C dash or wings dash. Looks like DFT is going straight for Midwife. So Tash will see this and know that DFT is a bit ahead of him. So he might still catch up because DFT has to go back a bit.
Yep.
Well, he remembered to hit the grub right above him, though.
Does.
He does, nice. Having a bit of trouble with that Devout there. Devout's pretty annoying without dash. Luke, unfortunately, I believe one of the runners did not have a timer and the other one did not start their timer. So we don't have a timer, but we started basically on time. So we know how long we're supposed to go. Looks like DFT will in fact be getting this other goal as well. I think if you're Tash at this point, maybe you should just give up on Beast Den altogether, because you know that DFT is going to be right there.
You give up trying to get the goal, but then if there's something there, like a dash, you don't want to give that up. Especially being so close to it, and it not being easy to get back to, since you know where it is.
Yeah, I guess since Tash is a bit ahead, so he could be using that advantage to make sure he doesn't fall horribly behind by DFT finding a dash. But if there's any random goals here, DFT is definitely going to get them. Unless, I don't think that's possible with just Claw Wings.
patient with these devoutes.
Yeah, I think this devout, the best way to kill it is to use wraiths from under the floor.
Yep.
Yeah. If DFT has enough trouble with these devouts and Tash kills them cleanly, then we could actually see. Oh yeah, oof. That's a really unfortunate death for DFT. He'll have to come all the way back from Hot Springs bench or Tram bench. That's really unfortunate. That was essentially losing a goal.
How much money did he have on him?
I don't know.
It looks like he's just giving it up.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see a simple key used on Gigi's hut. Tash also using Fireball. Yeah, these devouts are really annoying without dash. Grazloth, I'm pretty sure in Rando the hard save that you get at the start of Beast Den is removed. I know at least in the Plando Maker there is an option to remove the Beast Den hard save. And Tash gets through the first devout. There's another one guarding Hera, but I think you can get past all the other ones without killing. And you can get the Beast Den bench before going to the one guarding Hera, so he should be pretty fine from here on out.
Yeah, he tried to come in the way where the bench was, but just wasn't able to get over far enough without having dash.
Yeah, it looked really close. I could see you being able to make it with maybe an air stall or something. I'm not quite sure. Maybe I'll have to lab that out. And there's the goal marked by Tash. DFT will see this and probably warp out. Hopefully for him, there's no progression at Hera.
He's leaving behind all of his money.
Yeah, but like at this point, money isn't all too important.
Nope.
Oh, no, Tash, go get the bench! Go get the bench! Don't die here! That devout is really trolling him.
Dash. Bench.
Does he remember the bench? Oh no! Okay. That was really close.
He is fighting for it.
Oh, and C dash for DFT. Okay, that's very good. With that C dash, you can in fact go and finally get that Fog Canyon grub with an acid skip. That's fairly easy. Looks like Tash is just gonna warp out and leave this Chuck stranded. Probably neither of them will get it in a long time. Tash might be following DFT to Pleasure House here, or he might just be going to left. Meanwhile, DFT looks like going to Basin, probably going to fight Broken Vessel now. C-Dash makes getting over there much faster than... yes, Wesker, neither of them checked Distant Village Stag. Meanwhile, now Tash is following DFT into Broken Vessel, and will be much slower getting there due to not having C-Dash. So, this is almost certainly DFT's goal. Certainly would have been a bit closer if when Tash had gone down there at the start to read the lore tablet. He had grabbed the toll bench, but unfortunately, he will definitely get lucky. Oh, it looks like he's going to Hidden Station. Interesting. So thankfully,
and we'll see what's in White Palace if it's a
yeah.
if it's a goal.
Thankfully for Tash, he won't be wasting too much time down here following DFT because DFT is going straight for Broken Vessel and not bothering with these 2 checks. If you can call White Palace a check. Queen Station Stag at this Hidden Station Stag. I'm pretty sure Tash has already been there. So weird choice to buy it.
Let's see.
Thanks for pointing out that we forgot to update the tracker. I've updated it now.
There we go.
Yeah, Spell Twister was White Palace.
Tracker wasn't updating earlier too, which finally did.
DFT jumping around this enemy, getting some dream nails. Unfortunately, only has 2/3 of Soul Vessel to work with because he does not have his shade. It's left stranded in Beast. Wesker, while DFT might know that Acid Skip, he had a lot of trouble before remembering where the Fog Canyon grub was, thinking that it was perhaps in Fungal. So it's completely possible that he hasn't yet processed that C- does get him there.
Yeah, with that C-Dash, that would be a solid play for DFT.
Yeah. That would bring him back up to 8-8 even. And that's his 7th goal right there. So probably Tash will just quit out at this point. Yeah, looks like it. Wonder where Tash goes from here.
So we haven't seen sewers from either player.
Yeah, this
we
could be
haven't
Pleasure
seen
House, so
Soul Sanctum in terms
if
of
Tash
finding
tries
Soul
Pleasure
Vessel.
House, that'll even back up the progression. Warping to Crossroads Stag. This could be Glowing Womb check? No, Tash skips right past Pleasure House. You hate to see it. Oh, okay. I think DFT is in fact going for that Fog Canyon grub now. Yep, this is a pretty good play from him. He'll be marking the goal for the 3rd and final time.
Showcasing one of the acid skips in the game. Very well.
Yep.
With no dreamers on the board, you hate to see it. But I believe that is our first dreamer.
Yeah, I believe so. That acid skip is, I believe, one of the easier acid skips in the.
Yeah.
You mostly just walk off and cling and see that.
There you go. EFT marking it, and we are
Finally.
giving him the point for it.
A well-earned goal. Google and all. Tash buying strength. This could be setting up for Collector. He did just go sell to Lem. Oh, Tash is going to Zelda. Will he see the long nail? He sees it, he's looking at it, he buys it, and there we go. Finally, about over 1 hour in, the goal out of Zelda has been bought.
Yep, that is no longer a tiebreaker goal.
It looks like, is DFT going to peaks? That's a pretty strange play given that he knows Tash has been there because of CG1. No, where is DFT going? He's clearing out all the enemies here. Oh, he might be farming Geo. Oh yeah, he wants to go into peaks but doesn't have any Geo. Rip. Meatbag. Rando is a very hard game. It's easy to forget about things. I don't blame them. Yeah, Lord Pydo, it does make sense that with C-Dash, DFT knows that Tash has not had C-Dash, or at least if he has not used it very effectively at all. So he will be getting some checks that Tash didn't, but it's still a bit weird overlapping so much with.
Going for a nail upgrade before making his way to presumably Collector?
Yeah, that's really the only thing that you would really want nail upgrades for at this point. Like, Murkoth, you definitely don't want nail upgrades for. There's no other bosses on the board. Well, I guess Trader Lord, but they have no dashes, let alone Shade Cloak. Nail 2 and Strength should make pretty quick work of Collector, though. I believe it lets you one-shot all of the spawns.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing about that fight, is all the ads.
Looks like DFT is not quite familiar with when you're supposed to C-Dash there. There's a point where the right two lasers are both lit up at, like, right now, I believe, and intersecting, and you want to C-Dash right, like, as the one on the right is fading away. It's a bit weird because you need to time it such that the one on the right is still lit up when you release your C-Dash, I think.
Oh,
a Biff Streak. That is a random goal for Tash, making it 10-8. Collector will make it 11-8. With such a big lead this late in the game, things are looking pretty good for. Though DFT still does have that C-Dash advantage, allowing him to check more things and go faster.
I would like to right now see DFT make use of his C-Dash and check Ismus.
Yeah, that would be pretty good. You can check that with Claw and C-Dash. It's a bit annoying if you decide, because you need to either kill Dung Defender or do an acid skip. I don't know whether DFT is familiar with the Isma's acid skips. But that is one goal that DFT can do as a static goal that Tash cannot.
Is this? Nope. Okay. I was gonna say, is that Crystal Guardian 2?
Nah. CG2 is, it's not too bad as bosses go, but there are much easier checks to do in peaks than CG2. Oh, Wesker brings up a good point. You do, in fact, need dash for the Isma skip, I think. Yeah, that makes. You need to get underneath a ledge, and the only way to do that is with dash. But you can get to Isma's by doing Dunk Defender. It's even more annoying though that you don't have dive for Dunk Defender, because it both makes the fight longer because you can't like force him to come out of the ground with dive, and it also means you don't get the second check.
Alright, so... Cash making his way to a collector slowly.
Yep. I would not be surprised to see a Dreamgate placed down as he either goes to Collector and then comes back for the rest of Kingdom's Edge, or goes for the rest of Kingdom's Edge and comes back for...
Yeah.
But it looks like he's just going upwards. Interesting.
Oh!
Oh, that's pretty big.
That is big.
That now allows Tash to check Isma's pretty easily. Or wait, no, not actually. He can't get through the spike tunnels. I forgot. Yeah. If he had a tram pass, he could actually go do Isma's by going through the tram.
Yep.
But unfortunately, he did.
Okay, there's a safety dream gate. Let's switch audio.
We can hear the lovely Collector laughs.
Yep.
Shriek is pretty good for using against Collector. When he jumps above you, you can just Shriek and it'll all four of the Shriek hits will hit him just like that. And as you can see with Nail 2 in strength, Tash is making quick work of all of the minions.
I know there was you could only shriek him so many times, otherwise it got into like a loop where you couldn't actually kill him.
Really?
Yeah, there was
This.
not there, but I know like when you scream skip him, you can only do it so many times, or it gets like him too low on health for him to actually like stagger. Oh, is it Fluke?
Jamie, I don't know exactly when Tash marked Collector, but you can mark it as soon as it hits 0 HP, which is when it does its final stagger. Those are, in fact, in the rules for the bingo tournament. Yeah. Even if the rule is a bit weird, it is at least pretty clear with when you're allowed to mark things. So it looks like Tash is finally going to do False Knight. It will be a pretty easy fight with Nail 2's strength and 3. But this will be Tash's tram pass, which might inspire him to go and get that Isma's tier checked. Yeah, 4 hits from Nail. Oh, I think Tash also has Quick Slash on to make it even faster. I forget how much damage Pure Nail is.
Pure Nail is 21 damage.
Okay, so with Strength, that's like 30 damage. So not quite, I don't think. You need, I believe, let's see, I think you need 13 hits from base Nail 0 to down False Knight each side. So that's like 60 like between 60 and 65. Yeah, okay, so 65. So apparently you need just above 2 Pure Nail Strength hits.
That's still crazy, though.
Yeah, it looks like Tash is in fact heading straight for that check Ismas to get from the tram. This will be his 12th goal. Meanwhile, DFT is making his way through waterways, probably planning on doing Dung Defender into check Ismas. But I think Tash has.
Don't die.
Cyberspace Sloth, there's 5 checks and crypts.
There's the cloak.
Oh, finally a dash. Nice. But unfortunately, maybe a bit too late with Tash about to get his 12th goal. Though, I guess, no, DFT can now go through an acid skip to Ismas. So this might be enough, actually. Yeah, to answer the question earlier in chat, there are 5 checks and crypts. 1 on the left side, 1 on the chest, and those 2 you can get without vertical. Then there's 2 on the right side that you need vertical to get. And Flower Quest, which you need vertical to get, and Claw to do it without its shade skip.
Oh, DFT looks like he is going for that acid skip, maybe?
Yeah, it looks like he's going to do the spike tunnel here.
Oh, and very effectively showing it off.
This is actually kind of close, depending on how long DFT takes to do this acid skip. It's certainly not trivial, and there's 2 you need to do. The second one's a bit easier. And it looks like... okay, he's taking a couple tries. That looks low enough? Yep. So this will be pretty close.
Trying to get low enough on that platform. Alright, and he's in.
Nice. And he will be getting this goal. Just barely sniping out Tash. And it's a second white fragment.
So we are just about 80 minutes in and we just got our first dash.
Yeah.
Now, with that dash, taking advantage of another goal that he can get in Tiso.
Yep, he'll go all the way to edge, slightly overlapping Tash's checks, but he will get a goal for it. And now looks like Tash is warping out and still trying to find that dash. Still doesn't have any horizontal. This could be a comeback from DFT. Depends on where those last random checks are. Tash, in fact, went back to his Zelda and found Long Nail. Looks like Tash is checking Stone Sanctuary. Probably not doing No Eyes. It's pretty.
He is doing
It's
No
pretty
Eyes.
right. Huh. I forget. Was there a dash at Essence There wasn't, right?
I don't believe so, but
I remember there was something that, like... Oh, was there?
Yeah, I thought it was the 600-ish.
Okay. That makes sense. Tash does have 400 essence already. No Eyes proving to be a bit annoying.
Yeah,
No Eyes has a
now.
yeah. No Eyes has a chance to teleport on every single hit, and Wraiths counts as 4 hits. Or sorry, Abyss Streak counts as 4 hits. So that can be particularly annoying to use on No Eyes. But Tash takes No Eyes down pretty easily.
$600 essence and enough that he can get some quick dream trees. Oh, and Tash with a dive.
Oh, that's pretty big. Not for any of the goals, but just for movement.
Movement-wise.
Dive is one of the last things we're missing right now. The second dash would be really big, but with how long we've gone without seeing any dashes, they could very well be dive.
$676.
76. Yeah, probably the best thing to do for that would be Elder Who, I would imagine. Oh, and that Distant Village Stag also will be something that Tash is able to pick up. Maybe finally go get that Hera check and that Distant Village Stag. And DFT finding Tier. So DFT now has all the movement except the one that he needs for those last 2 goals. So we're about to see a bunch of new checks from Tash here. All the dive locked one.
Oh,
Dive
there's one more thread.
Lol. Unfortunately, long nail already found, so not useful anymore. But dive is actually quite an important movement item in Rando. There's a lot of chucks that are dive locked. And there's Monomon. That's 2 dreamers we've found.
Each one finding a different dreamer.
Tash checking Flower Quest. There's a VS at Colo 2 and nothing at Colo 1. Hidden Station Stag at Flower Quest. Surprised to see Tash even checking this. It's not... I can't imagine Tash would like actually go do Flower Quest with no horizontal movement, just for a random goal.
Yeah.
We have found out that Flower Quest is possible with claw and air stalls only, from Mr. Homothety, but not something you actually want to do. Oh,
Wait,
that's
wait,
Hera. So,
Second dreamer.
yeah, so
Which is the
if
third.
Tash finds Lurian, that could be that something at Black Egg Temple.
Two dreamers in the crypts, man.
And that is the 10th goal for DFT, making a bit of a comeback here. Pretty close now, with DFT having the progression lead, so it could be anyone's game, really.
Alright, so the
Tash
only 2
has
goals
dive.
that we can complete right now without a second dash is we can find Shape of Un, Baldur Shield, Dream Wielder, or Dream Shield.
Yep, and then Shade Cloak is the other 2 goals. Yep. DFT has a bit of a lead on the Trader Lord goal with QG Stag already. I don't think Tash ever picked that up. I don't remember where it was. Cthulhu with a very interesting prediction there. Markoth in Black Egg Temple.
Okay. So you're predicting the shade. There is a cloak in temple.
No. Cthulhu's saying that Markoth is chilling in Black Egg Temple.
Oh, okay.
If you get Black Egg, you just get to fight Mark.
Okay, I'll accept that.
Meanwhile, Tash is going to check Upper Edge. This is kind of weird, given that. Maybe he thinks that DFT found a cloak here, because you do need dash to mark Tiso's shield. So he knows that DFT has been to Upper Edge. So this is actually a smart play from Tash, but unfortunately not going to pay off.
We have 4 dashes and we've only seen one of them. We have, is it 3 copies of dive? Or we've seen 1?
Yeah, we've seen 1 of 4 dashes and 1 of 3 dives. All 3 dreamers and 0 nail arts.
We have 1 nail art and all 3 dreamers.
We have a lot of dream nails, but unfortunately,
we have 2 nail
already.
arts.
Lol. Unfortunately, we've already seen nothing in not Black Egg, White Palace. Tash having a bit of trouble with that Great Hopper. Pretty annoying without dash, but he gets through.
DFT is going to check anything he can think of right now that he has acid. So he can check on...
This is probably Hornet and Shipavoon.
Yep.
Hornet getting absolutely bullied with Shade Soul and nail upgrades.
Volume warning.
Yep. Presumably, Tash does not actually go and fight Pale Liquor here, because that would be absolutely horrible.
He has an upgraded nail. It shouldn't be that hard.
He does not have dash, though, so he can barely catch up to Pale Liquor.
DFT finding Shaman Stone.
That's pretty nice, but unfortunately, not something he's quite looking for. Gridchild? That could be something. I know they've both been to cliffs, but I don't think either of them has even lit the lantern yet. I might be wrong. It was a long time.
Tash had the ability to, but he disregarded it. If there's a dash here, he's gonna feel really bad about not having lit that lantern earlier.
Yeah. Chat predicting double dash at Grim.
Okay, so it's an egg.
Now I'm predicting double egg at Grim.
Tash disrespect Grim.
Disrespectful, so disrespectful. Hopefully he at least bows at the end to make up for it.
I like these plays from DFT. Like, he's taking the mobility that he's getting and using it to check things that typically you have to come back for. So, because like you don't usually have C-dash when you come through here, or if you do, you don't have claw.
Yeah. Meanwhile, from Tash, this is honestly not too bad of a play. Even though Tash doesn't have dash, and that can make Grim annoying sometimes, he does have lots of damage with a Nail 2 Strength and Abyss Shriek.
Yep.
Choosing to take some damage to get in some damage there. Meanwhile, DFT checking some some more stranded checks with Joni. Much less annoying with Lantern and movement.
Yep. Just hoping for one of the 4 charms and another copy of Dash. Is do business. Tash completing Grim. Bowing, as he should.
Okay, that makes up for his rudeness at the beginning, at least.
Yeah, I know. He was so rude in the beginning. You don't do that to Grim.
Yeah, you just dream nail Grim. Very polite. Unfortunately, not much of a reward. We might be seeing Watcher Knights now from Tash. I don't know why else you would warp to this bench. Meanwhile, will light the lantern, only to find an egg.
We might be getting a Sewers Fluke Marm. Oh,
Oh.
I'm gonna get a fish.
Oh, this is pretty big, yeah. I forgot Tash never checked Pleasure House. C-Dash will really help with Tash's mobility. He'll be kicking himself for not checking this earlier. Gave DFT a large lead.
Dash was in Waterways at the egg right next to the bench.
Yep.
Tash going in here with Dive. If he went into the sewers, would have an easier time finding it than DFT, but it looks like he's going to do Watchers instead.
Yep. Watcher's pretty good at this point in the game. Kind of a mid-game check. You get 3 checks, and it with a pretty good boss. Not too long, pretty fun. Better with less damage, or so I hear any percent runners say, but DFT immediately leaving Bretta's hut. Bretta's room is one of the only rooms in the game that opens to the right instead of the left, so it's a bit easy to make that mistake.
I usually make that mistake every time.
Watchers should be
Alright, so it looks like we're getting core. DFT will get 3 checks. The first one being the egg, the second one being the mass shard, and the third one being super secret seal.
okay. It looks like my stream is back. I was having some internet issues.
Welcome back.
Clearly, Palm passed it on to me from last race. An Awoken Dreamnail and Boulder Shell. So now 11 to 11. basically at this point, it's first person to find Shade Cloak, and DFT is ahead on that with already having a dash.
DFT thinking that it might be a cursed location, and just resigning himself to be doing Uma.
Umu is pretty easy though with Shriek.
He's a streak, so it's not.
Surprised DFT has not equipped Shaman. Oh, I guess DFT's death will be coming back to haunt him with not having much soul for this. It looks like Tash is heading over to storerooms. We've already seen these checks from DFT. Maybe going to Sanctum though, which we have not seen, which is much more open with
not
Dive.
seen that.
Yeah, both the runners seem to be looking for checks that checking places that they're pretty sure the other has not done yet.
Nice fight for DFT.
Yeah, Umu's pretty far out of the way. Sanctum is pretty bad to check.
Oh, DFT
even
did
worse.
upgrades now. For some reason, I must have missed him upgrade.
Yeah, both of them got nailed too. DFT may have been prepping for Collector as well, but got sniped on that, if so.
Yeah, I mean, we're an hour and 45 minutes into a 3-hour time limit race. Tash needs 2 cloaks, DFT needs 1, and to win, they will both of them need to absolutely obtain Shade Cloak at this point.
Yeah. The only way this race ends without Shade Cloak being found is if we go to the time limit. And probably that won't happen since there's 4 cloaks. Meanwhile, DFT is going to follow Tash into Watcher Knights. Unfortunate for him. So there's an interesting movement disparity here. DFT has Cloak, while Tash does not, but Tash has Dive, which DFT does not have. So things like Sanctum here, DFT won't be able to take full advantage of and probably won't even. But Cloak does speed up DFT a bit as well. Though Tash does have C-Dash at least now, so it won't be completely behind him that respect. I wouldn't be surprised if Tash went to peaks after this. Oh, there's D-Dark. Working towards full spells for Tash. Like there's quite a few dive checks and peaks, and DFT probably hasn't been there even. If you're Tash, you might think that DFT hasn't been there because Tash marked the CG1 goal early.
Yep.
Oh, unfortunate. The Shape of Moon a bit too late for Tash. Oh, and that's a 3rd Dreamer for Tash, so Black Egg Temple is in play. Wesker, I'm not convinced Vanilla Dive is that good for DFT. Like, if DFT does go to Soulmaster, he'll get the dive, but he'll be doing a bunch of checks that Tash has already done, so I kind of doubt he'll even go there. So you see, White Lady in Queen's Gardens does reside in a black egg. So you could argue that White Lady is in fact in black egg.
Okay, so we have all 3 nail arts among the 2 runners.
Yep. Was this where Dive was? Stone Sanctuary?
Yes.
Okay, so DFT will be getting his dive. Unfortunately, Tash has done almost all of the dive checks in the game. The only ones left are in Peaks, I believe. Oh yeah, waterways as well. Fluke Marm is a thing. DFT will now follow Tash into Crypts, get those 2 Dreamers, and probably follow Tash into Black Egg. Meanwhile, Tash, with picking up that simple key, might think to go check God Tuner, in which case he'll probably find his dash, which would be pretty good. Finds the dupe claw.
DFT gonna find his 3rd dreamer.
Jet, I don't remember where Great Slash was. It was a long time ago. Oh, according to Spooky, it was in Glade. So it is almost certainly in Glade. Spooky is always right.
DFT hasn't gotten any essence. So that'll be a little bit off for him.
Yeah, I imagine it'll take a long time for DFT to go and check Glade with no essence right now. Yeah, dash at Stevie's Dagon hair would be pretty amusing. Oh, it looks like Tash is checking Glowing Womb, so we'll be getting some NMG content. If Claw isn't at NMG, then Dash must be, right?
Yep.
The beeping is my push to talk. I'm sorry. Meanwhile, from DFT, we're getting some Fluke Marm content.
I wonder if he takes it further and goes to check God Tuner.
Hello, everyone from Final Fantasy Randomizer. This is Hollow Knight, also Randomizer. We're in the Lockout bingo, pretty close 11 to 11. DFT has a slight advantage in having dash, but DFT only just got dive. And there was a dash at NMG.
It was NMG!
Yep. So now DFT has a much harder time figuring out where the last 2 nail alerts are than Tash does getting that dash in waterways. So Tash has a small advantage there, but of course there could be a dash anywhere else as well. Yeah, we're mostly looking for Shade Cloak at this point. There are 4 dashes in the game because of dupes, and you need 2 of them to get Shade Cloak. And Shade Cloak locks 2 of the goals on the board, Dreamnail, White Lady, and Markoth. So both runners, since they're at 11 and this is Lockout, are going to need that Shade Cloak in order to win. What would be really exciting is if Both of them get Shade Cloak at about the same time and go for different goals. DFT might go for Dreamnail White Lady since he has QG Stag. And then that would be some content. 12-12 looking for a random. So Tash is going to get Shaman here, I believe.
Yep.
DFT already checked that. Meanwhile, DFT doing Dung Defender, a check we haven't seen yet. Mathilu, Dash was at the Waterways Bench Egg for DFT.
Alright, so this looks like it's going to be a God Tuner check. DFT has the key for it. Hoping that it's either a dash or Dream Wielder or Dream Shield.
Okay, I think my push to talk sounds have now been dealt with, so hopefully we won't hear any more beeping. I did not expect that they would be the settings for that would be in notifications of all things.
Oh my god.
That is huge.
He
This
found
is
it.
probably this game now. Unless we have a dash at Thorns as chat has predicted, this could still be a close race. If
Dash at Thorns, please.
and it's just a Rancid Egg.
Ah,
Unfortunately for Tash, even if he does find Shade Cloak at this point, it's almost certainly too late. DFT is making the smart play of going for Markoth first because he already has QG Stag, whereas Tash doesn't. So Tash will have a much harder time catching up to Trader Lord, even if he does find a dash right. So this has been a very close race, but we are going to see the end of it now, as long as DFT doesn't die to Markoth. Not too easy given the nail upgrades. Markoth is the dream boss that scales the most with nail upgrades.
oh, okay.
And takes an unfortunate death. You hate to see it. Yeah, I think Markoth is the only dream boss that scales directly with your nail. So like your nail damage stays the same with Markoth, I believe, on all nail upgrades, while your spells just get weaker.
So on a nail 0, he has 250 health. On a nail 1, he has 400. And on a nail 2, he has 520. So double the health that he would have had on nail 0. So your spells are a lot less effective.
Yeah, on nail 0, just a few shrieks with Shaman Stone takes care of Markoth, but on nail 2, as you can see, it's taking much longer to kill Markoth. DFT trying to just damage tank his way through, but not quite able to make it. Unfortunate. Oh, and there's the last random goal from Tash. unfortunately not going to be relevant unless Tash finds Shade Cloak and DFT dies a few more times to Markoth.
Tash, you're checking everywhere you can think of at this point.
I'm surprised Tash hasn't yet checked waterways more. He knows that DFT has at least been to Isma's, which means it's pretty likely that DFT's also been to main waterways, and that's around the time that DFT got dashed. And DFT finally gets Markoth. Tash knows that the end is near. Unfortunately, not much he can do about it.
Yep, and there we go. There's the QG bench.
Yeah, this is pretty much GG. There is almost no way that DFT dies enough times for Tash to find Shade Cloak and catch up, going through all of Q.
Looks like Tash is gonna try to go over there and maybe set it up for.
Yeah, I guess if DFT dies enough times and Tash finds the second Shade Cloak in QG, he still has a hope. Yoni, NMG was dash. It was the only dash Tash found. DFT found 2 dashes, one at Waterways Bench Egg and one at God Tuner. Yeah, this is a pretty smart play from Tash. This is his only chance, really, of catching up.
Yep.
Hoping that DFT takes forever on Trader Lord or has to go through QG, and that one of the QG checks is, in fact, Shade Cloak. Yeah, but with how clean DFT's fight has been so far, probably he'll just make it first try, and Tash does not have much hope here.
Oh, there it is.
And there we go. Now, DFT might still die to that Aluba, right? Right? And that is GG. With a completely full board, 13-12, very close race all the way through.
Alright, should we get them in here in just a moment?
Yep. Hello.
Hello.
Hello? Hey.
GG's to both of you guys. That was a fantastic race.
That was
Yeah.
rough.
Well, that's not the word that I would use.
I'm
was a very
assuming
good-
you got Dash really late as well.
Yeah, I got my first dash at NMG. Where did you get your second one?
I got one in Waterway Eggs, and then the God Home key. At the end, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna check all the random check.
And you got
Or
the
like-
God Home. Yeah.
And did you ever get wings?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Where Where did
I got
get these from?
I got wings in the Blue Lake, and I wasn't sure if you were ever gonna go there, just because it's another one of those random.
I thought Wings was above Mantis Village.
Yes.
Or no,
Yeah, above Mantis
It
Village.
was Mantis Lords, which I also thought you wouldn't go to.
Oh, how do you guys feel about Longnail, Love Key, and Sharp Shadow? By the way, chat wants us to ask you about
Sharp
that.
Shadow was in a shop.
No, Sharp Shadow.
was in the well.
Oh, Sharp Shadow was in Well.
I
okay.
had Sharp Shadow for
Well,
like.
that's marginally more justifiable than Love Key and Swan.
I think it was somewhere in Green Path, and I literally was just looking at the board, and I was like, "Wait, I think I have Sharp Shadow."
Yeah, DFT picked up Sharp Shadow at the well as like one of his first checks, and didn't mark it until a long ways in.
And I did pretty much the same thing with Love Key. I bought it and then later realized, oh wait, that's a goal.
Yeah,
we were
yeah,
really confused when you bought
we were
it.
confused because you
I
bought
bought it because Collector was on the board, and then I realized, oh wait, Love Key's on the board too.
Yeah. And both of you skipped past Longnail at the start.
Yeah.
Where was it?
It's Zelda.
It was at the Zelda.
Oh,
In fact, DFT, you skipped past Longnail 8 separate times, or 9 separate times. Once at the beginning, and 8 times while buying map pins.
wait, I thought that was. Hold on. I thought that was, I thought it was Heavy Blow.
It was long.
Nope, it was Longnail. They look similar, but
Apparently, I don't know my charm. Oh, and I also don't know where Fog Canyon is.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
That took me like 3 times. I was like,
that was interesting.
wait, what? And
Just
then
to
I was
see
how
like,
it says
oh, yeah,
Fog
it's the
and then
random
unmarked,
one.
and Jason says in Bingo chat, that's not Fog Canyon. And then it gets marked again, then it's unmarked, and that's not Fog Canyon either.
Fog Canyon.
Apparently,
what is going
Fog
on over
Canyon
there?
is fungal waste to me, so.
yeah,
Yeah.
DFT's freed the 2 separate grubs and fungal waste. Same thing that is Quad Canyon. You really hate to
Knowledge,
see it.
guys. Knowledge.
Yeah, knowledge is very important in these bingo races.
It was an intimidation tactic, actually.
Like,
I was like, hey, I have either wings or C dash right now. Come at me.
yeah, there was some pretty good content that race. The Deep Nest race was very interesting.
Oh, we
don't
were
talk
actually
about it.
racing for it. I was
Yeah.
under the assumption something that DFT had just found Distant Village Stag or something.
Oh no, he
No, we were just racing through it.
Yeah,
Yep,
both
yep.
of you were going through. You did stop to do Galleon, and once you marked that, DFT skipped all the checks in Dark Deep Nest basically and went straight
to midlife. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. But then DFT unfortunately died in Beast End to a Stalking Devout and didn't go back.
Tell me I would have lost anyway.
I think you would have lost anyways if you
Okay.
like tried to go back. Tash.
No, I mean if I hadn't have died to the.
Oh no. If you hadn't died, you would have gotten it certainly.
Oh, the grubs.
Yeah.
Doing
Tash would be sad
devouts
if you died.
doing devouts without dash, I should have just been more patient. But I
Yeah.
thought he was literally right on my tail, so I was trying to be as fast as I can.
Yeah, in fact, he was. He had just stopped to check Weaver's den.
Of course, I didn't know that you were busy going through all
Yeah.
of Deep Nest.
The Galeon really helped me out. 'Cause then I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I guess I need to rush this.
In fact, Tash at the end got stuck at the Stalking Devout guarding Hera.
And I just gave up on that one.
Yeah, both of you had trouble with dashless Stalking Devouts, which is extremely fair, though they're really annoying.
I managed to get through one of them, which allowed me to get the last grub at least. So, but I gave up on the second one, the one that was guarding Hera. So
I was really hoping that egg was a dash. I
Yep.
was-
Yeah, I'm going to go generate a spoiler log to answer some of chat's questions.
like, where was the other dash or the last dash?
Yeah, also, what
I
was
think
at
We
Hera? or
found
Distant
3 of
Village?
them. And what was the other question?
What's at Hera or Distant Village?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I
Did you-
didn't check Distant Village Stag.
Did you get dive really late?
I got it like midway through, I think. I don't remember.
It took me forever to get dive. I don't even remember where it was. I just remember. Oh. Yeah, I don't remember where
The
it was.
Bastard and the Stone Sanctuary.
Yeah, Stone Sanctuary.
Yeah, okay. I just remember being very happy for it. 'Cause
That's where I
there
got
were
my
a lot of
first one.
dive lock stuff that
That's where I got my first one, and then I got a second one at Soul Master.
Oh, okay.
So chat wants us to mention also the Isma's race was pretty good also. Tash had just gotten Tram Pass and was going through Tram Pass over to Hive with Isma's tier to go check Isma's with no horizontal except Tram Pass. And meanwhile, DFT, you had just found Dash and barely made it to beat Tash to Isma's with the
Where did we find C dash? Oh, C dash was Grubs.
I didn't actually get that one. I got
Did you do Essence? No, there
Pleasure.
was one at like 6. Oh, was it? Or no? Yeah, I'm thinking of Lantern.
it was Pleasure House.
Yeah, C-Dash was Pleasure House and Essence. Tash almost got the Essence. Like, Tash killed No Eyes, but then found C-Dash before getting the last.
Yeah, it was really.
Okay, let's see. So Waterway's main egg, that was the one DFT found for. God Tuner and NMG.
Where's the other
Those
one?
were found. And where else? I can't find. Hollowness Seal Queen's Gardens. So that's the Marmu relic, I believe.
And Tash was heading right for that.
Well, I was heading through Queen's
Yeah.
Gardens. I was heading to Queen's Gardens at the end because I knew I would have to go through Queen. I was hoping that DFT would maybe just die to Trader Lord once or twice and give me enough time to go
Yeah.
through Queen's Gardens.
Yeah, that was a pretty smart play. If you had gone all the way to Marmu Relic, you would have in fact gotten Dash, but I think you were a bit too far behind with DFT already having QG Stag.
Where was that, by the way?
Spoiler log.
I'm
Just
on
look at
it.
your tracker log.
Mantis.
Marcus Pride, Mantis Lords, yeah.
Mantis Lords, okay. I had been actually about to do that when you marked Markov. And I knew
I
that
also
you had
found,
Shade Cloak.
I also going through the random one-offs. I found Shape of Un, or no, Balder Shell in the.
Oh, yeah.
And I found
Fungal.
Shape of Un very shortly afterwards.
Yeah, Baldur Shell was at the Mask Shard drop down from Fungal Core, and Shape of In was at Soul Master, I believe.
It was behind Soul Master, I think. But
Yep.
yeah. Soul Master itself was a vanilla dive.
Now, fourth Dash was at Marmu Relic in QG.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can look up third dive. There was nothing at Hera or Distant.
Nothing of note. Okay.
I also was afraid my internet was gonna go out the whole time because I'm at a hotel and every day at 5 they you have to re-log in.
Oh no.
I never got the re-log in, so
That's fortunate. At some point you were paused. I assume you were
I do-
Googling what Fog Canyon was.
yeah, that was the Fog Canyon lookup.
I see, yeah. We hope that you were just
You
Googling it.
Googled that. Well, there were times, anytime there was a time that I could alt-tab out, I was just checking to make sure I was still live.
There was actually
No disconnect,
there was actually
so-
one moment where shortly after I crashed, where DFT he said in Bingo Chat that he was just going to go to the bathroom real quick to give me a little bit of time to make up for it.
Yeah, I did some dancing around at the Dirtmouth Well. I tried to.
Oh yeah, we saw
I'm
that.
sorry about that. I have a really janky setup right now because, like I said, I'm in a hotel, so
Yeah.
I've got an iPad with bingo set up over here, and it's rough. One monitor. If you have one monitor, go buy a second monitor right now.
I'm living a one monitor life.
I will
So
send,
apparently the third
I will
dive
send
was
you the monitor. What was it?
CG2.
What was CG2?
The third dive.
Ah.
And apparently vanilla dive was the intended dive. You love to see it. Desolate dive at desolate dive.
Fix your mod, rando man.
Indeed. Well, that was an extremely close race and a lot of content for the viewers. That was very good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep,
Yeah.
GG to both of you.
GG.
Yeah, GG. That was fun.
It looks like tomorrow we will be having another race that will be pretty exciting. Homothdy versus Conra at 2 p.m. Eastern. So I believe Tash will be commentating that along with Cake.
Yes.
So be sure to tune into that. That will be exciting.
Oh yeah, that'll be interesting. All right.
All right. Thanks, comms. Thanks everybody for watching.
Thank you.
Thanks,
GG.
everyone.
That was quite a race. That was certainly something.
Yep, GG.
All right. GG, you guys.
Catch you later.